Hi Aries. So since we're doing the astrological part, the cards falling, love and romance, and finance in 3 different sections, now I can take you to all kinds of exciting places where I don't need a table in front of me to deal the cards, shuffle the cards, however you want to say it. So let's talk astrology. I was going to wait until the man in the background decided to stop the longest lawn mowing I have ever seen, but since he has no intention of stopping and hasn't in fact stopped for days, it is harvest season here. We may as well continue. And I find it strangely applicable to your month. So today's August 3rd. It is the night of the full moon soon, the Aquarius full moon, and I thought it would be the perfect time to do your reading because you are looking at a month where you have to decide. You have to decide between your emotional needs and your drive and ambition, your need to get things done, your need to push, and the cardinal fire that is you. Somewhere between the two, there is a beautiful happy medium. To find it may take you most of the month, but before the month is over, the sun will move into Virgo and you will feel a calmness descend on you if you haven't lit your life up in flames until then. So Mars in your sign is going to give you every reason to push, every reason to hunt, every reason to live out your most Aries wants. But that same planet in your sign is going to square Venus in Cancer and all the planets in Capricorn. This is difficult. You may find that people are judging you and blaming you for things that have nothing to do with you. That's that Mars energy squaring. You may find that you try even a little bit, you show your ambition just a bit, and people are put off by it. That's also that Mars energy squaring planets making you feel that somehow you're doing it. But Mars isn't listening to you either, right? It just wants to go, go, go. And so you get to feel now from the universe how people often feel when they're with you. When they feel that go, go, go from you, they have a tendency to, kind of shrink back from it because they can't match your intensity, they can't match your fire. You now, the emotional part of you, is looking around in August going, I don't know if I can match what Mars wants me to do. So half the time you're go, 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 and half the time you're in your feelings. Now, how does that work? Well, that balance that you are asked to find is tricky. And the more you try to find it and push to find it, the more difficult it will become. So what you really have to do now is you have to chill. You have to take in this Mars energy and look at it for what it is. Look at your ambitions. Look at your drive. Look at the things that it's pushing you to do. Are they what you really want? Does your emotional life, your feelings, your heart, does it factor in at all? And if it doesn't, what does that say about what motivates you? What does that say about the trajectory of your life so far? It's a big month, and these are big, big questions that you are being asked while your planet is in your sign. So Mars wants answers from you as far as what do you want? And your emotional life is saying, but how do you want it? Do you want it at any cost? How much are you willing to pay for it? How much of your feelings are you willing to sacrifice for that which you think makes you whole? These are very big questions, and by the 20th of August, or the 22nd actually, most of them are answered. Until then, the back and forth continues, and it can be very frustrating if you don't know what's going on. But now you have a little bit of a clue of what's going on, and next we'll take a look at the cards and it'll make even more sense. At least we hope. As a fellow Mars in Aries person, I sympathize for how you may be feeling right now, and I'm excited to witness the depth that this brings. So let's get to it. Let's look at the cards. Love you. Hi Aries. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So now that you have a handle on the astrological aspect of August, let's take a look at what the cards have to say. those tense aspects, those squares that Mars will make, may feel like you being personally attacked. You may really feel people coming out of the woodwork to make it seem like things are your fault. They're not. They're not your fault. And if you are dealing with, recovering from, in the throes of some painful moments with a loved one or a romantic partner, this is also, or a sibling, this is also the first thing that comes up in your energy. You may want to communicate about it. You may want to very much so air things out. You know, you want to explain yourself. You want to offer this cup to someone that you feel so close to. And you want them to accept it from you, right? But I think it's time for you to take a risk. And that risk has to do with not explaining yourself. It has to do with putting your emotional needs in front of other people's, not their emotional needs in front of yours. That's a big part of this month too. You may think that, oh, Mars is in Aries and so it's just about me and what I want. But how often do you actually do what is good for your heart? That's the question. How often is it about your heart? Sorry about that. How often do you choose what's best for your emotional life? Sorry, I was slightly distracted there. So how often, realistically, how often are you choosing your behavior based on what emotionally is right for you? Not very often. As much as people can say, oh, you're like this, you're thinking about yourself. Generally, Aries go out of their way, i.e. hurt themselves, to make sure that other people are okay, to make sure that the connections that they have with other people don't get severed because of the way the other people are behaving. You are more than willing to, in Urdu you say, drink your anger, right? Gusapi lena, to drink your anger to make sure that those connections aren't severed. Now, the hard part about August is that when you put your heart first and your healing first, it's not going to be easy for other people to do for you what you always do for them. Add to that Mars in Aries fire of you just not wanting to compromise on your needs, not wanting to stay in a situation that isn't respecting what is good for you. So the mix, right? Once you figure out what your emotional needs are, then Mars and Aries can work for you, because then it gives you the drive to be like, you know what? There's no reciprocity here. And this is with everyone. This is family, this is friends, this is everyone. This is you looking around and saying, why am I the one doing all the work? Sure, I like to do the work, but for just a little bit of time, I would like to emotionally put myself first. Why am I not allowed to do that? And once you realize how badly people react to you putting yourself first, I think that's where the Mars and Aries energy will help you. Because then you can, right? You can use that fire to move, to get away, to change, to take a risk on something else. And that risk for you is moving away from these relationships that aren't being reciprocated. Hi Aries, welcome to the third part of your reading. Let's look at these cards now in terms of work and finance. That first card, the Three of Swords, is about regret. It's about the pain and regret that you feel when you kind of lash out at somebody in August in the work environment or someone who has a relation to your finances. That could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a boss, it could be a client. Whatever it is, the anger that's so quick to rise in August from you can lead to some really hurtful moments where you're saying some incredibly painful things. And then being regretful, but also paying the price for them. So in August, you run the very real risk of not being able to cope with the consequences of your words. So again, better not to speak them. 6 of Cups. Beautiful collaborations are possible if you're willing to take some risks and trust some people. Your ambition is, again, in full flame. So there are very real work possibilities here that'll be great for you. And they will require risk, and they will require hope and faith. And it's difficult to have hope and faith while everyone's also driving you crazy, because they're rushing you and your own planet is rushing you. And everything around mid-August makes you want to scream, and you just finally say, stop, enough. I'm going to do this at my pace, regardless of what Mars is saying and regardless of whoever said person wants from me. It becomes very clear to you also in August how much people want, and how even though you give and give and give, doesn't seem to be enough. The moment you want to take a minute for yourself, the moment you want to perhaps pursue some of your own dreams, it's an issue, huh? Those squares with Capricorn, when it comes to money, can be very trying. So this is not the time to overspend. This is the time to save whatever cash windfall comes in. It's a time to reorganize based on priority. Those squares are going to show you where you're putting too much importance on people that aren't worth it, and putting too much effort into a job or a work situation, some way that money is coming in that you're just not interested in. It's not gratifying, you don't like it, and you don't want to do it. And you're thinking, okay, but then what do I do? Right, so the squares with Capricorn are going to show you, although they will be uncomfortable, they will show you what you actually should be doing and what you need to do to pursue it. Will you like what you see, what you find out? I don't know, maybe. Maybe by the time they happen, you're so fed up with the reality you're seeing. That's the other side effect of Mars. It gives you very clear vision. And an Aries with very clear vision can be quite angry, because it's generally not very nice the way people treat you. Like I said, they want everything from you. They want it all. But they don't want to give anything. They just expect you to keep making your own fire. So, those squares give you a lot to think about. And when you have all these pieces, you have the feelings, you have the work, you have the insight, you're going to put it all together, and what you're going to come up with is pretty close to this Sagittarius card here. The balance. You find a way to reach that sweet balance somewhere around the end of August. And although you will feel like you've been running hurdles all month, when you get to that end and you find that balance, you will be able to feel within yourself how much it changes you as a person and how much happier you will be for it, and how much toxicity you've lost and how much progress you've made towards the things that are actually important to you, and the deepening of the connections with the people that are actually important to you. So it's a very good month for you, albeit a bit irritating. Now, if you'd like to know more about this Capricorn that you might be dealing with, the Sagittarius that you might be dealing with, or even the Pisces, and a card I often associate with Pisceans, then stick around, because we're going to do that in the extended. We shuffle through for each card and clarify, and then we do a set of outcome cards. So that's up next. If you would like a personal reading recorded and sent to you, there's a Cameo link below. If you would like a 10-minute Zoom call reading, that's also available on Cameo. If you would like a 15-minute Chatelize session, where we do a one-on-one video call over the Chatelize app, that's also available below. I think there are a few spots left for mid-September. And then the extended you can find instant through a link that you pay via PayPal or on Vimeo where you log into the platform. If you are interested in purchasing one of the Quietest Revolution rings, this is the High Priestess and this is the World. The High Priestess is available, but there are only a few left, and the Empress, which is the green version of this, actually the info is in the box below as well. There is a link, but there's also a link to the Instagram where you can see many more photos of the rings. And if you're interested in daily readings, you can check those out at the Quietest Revolution Instagram, where every day we do a daily chart and look at the astrology for what's happening. Okay, Aries, let's get into that extended right now. I love you.